for a democracy. Fighting for a democracy. And understand the difference here. Understand the difference here moving forward.
When they asked her about the gun.
Yes.
And she, yeah, I got a Glock. What kind?
Yes.
And her answer was, and
Yeah.
And Those were invented by nervous white people around black people.
Tyrus just threw Kamala Harris straight into the spotlight. And wow, it's been heating up for years. She's been sitting in that metaphorical hot seat with awkward speeches, nervous giggles, and responses that sound like riddles no one ever wanted solved. This isn't your everyday political jab, it's a full-on heavyweight roast session. Tyrus completely tears apart her endless word salads, forced laughter, and painfully scripted inspirational moments that never quite land. If you thought Kamala's speeches were confusing before, wait until you hear how Tyrus breaks them down. You'll never be able to listen to them the same way again.
The VP Harris, she won't go to the border, probably because she'd rather take the magic school bus to the moon.
You guys are gonna see. You're gonna literally see the craters on the moon with your own eyes.
Oh my goodness.
With your own eyes, I'm telling you, it is gonna be unbelievable.
With your own eyes.
Before we jump ahead, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Kamala Harris is living proof that it's possible to fail upwards so spectacularly that even gravity gives up trying to pull you back down. Forget Elon Musk and his rockets. This woman is the only person who's managed to launch herself straight into the vice presidency powered by nothing but cackles, word salads, and a smile that practically screams, "I totally practiced this in the mirror." It's wild, it's baffling, and it's pure political theater at its finest.
President Kamala Harris getting mocked and criticized once again after dishing out another one of her now notoriously scrambled responses, which her critics have taken to calling a word salad. The vice president was meeting with the Jamaican prime minister, for example, when she blurted this out.
For Jamaica, one of the issues that has been presented as an issue that is economic in the way of its impact has been the pandemic. So to that end, we are announcing today also that we will assist Jamaica in COVID.
America once asked, what's the worst audition tape for leadership we could ever approve? And Kamala Harris proudly stepped forward with a resume that reads like a fever dream of confusion. From prosecutor to politician to whatever she's pretending to be now, her career path feels like a maze with no exit. The vice presidency is supposed to be a symbolic role, but Kamala turned it into a full-blown performance art piece. Every time she speaks, it feels like the awkward opening scene of a sitcom no one wanted to fund, yet somehow it still made it to prime time.
So I think it's very important, as you have heard from so many incredible leaders, for us at every moment in time, and certainly this one, to see the moment in time in which we exist and are present, and to be able to contextualize it, to understand where we—
Oh, that laugh. Dear heavens, the laugh. It's not the sound of a confident leader. It's the jittery giggle of a middle schooler caught cheating and trying to joke their way out of trouble. She could be asked about a serious world crisis, and instead of offering depth, she bursts out with that awkward high-pitched cackle. It's the kind of sound you'd hear at a backyard barbecue right after someone slips on the potato salad. Imagine being in a meeting with global leaders and suddenly feeling like you're watching an audition tape for the next Joker movie. It's surreal, it's chaotic, and it's unforgettable. She talks like someone stuck in a never-ending job interview, one she clearly didn't read the description for. Every sentence feels like she's trying to solve a riddle she accidentally wrote herself. Listening to her speeches is like cracking open a fortune cookie written by a chatbot running on 1% battery. You keep waiting for a clear message, but it never lands. Instead, her words spiral into a motivational speech about absolutely nothing. It's a masterpiece of confusion wrapped in forced enthusiasm, and somehow she delivers it with complete confidence.
Do you regret not voicing your opinion in that moment?
Yes, and I actually have reflected on that, and I've written about that. I realized.
Would it have mattered if you did?
I don't know.
It's honestly shocking that this is the person just one heartbeat away from the Oval Office. The idea was that she'd bring charisma, warmth, and inspiration to the ticket, but instead she brought the energy of Google Translate stuck on shuffle mode. Watching her try to inspire a crowd feels like someone accidentally hit play on a playlist called Corporate Buzzwords 2008. She tosses out random words like moment, future, and importance, then wraps it all up with that famous cackle. And just like that, the speech is over. But this isn't just awkwardness. It's pure incompetence dressed up in a power suit. Her record only adds fuel to the fire. One day she's treating truancy like a national security threat, punishing parents because their kids miss school, and the next she's pretending to be the cool auntie who just wants fairness for everyone. It's not growth, it's costume changes. Kamala treats politics like a drag show where every night's theme is whatever polls the best.
Thought it was amazing that no one asked. You told the American people that President Biden was better than he ever was, and you couldn't keep up with him. And then he gets pulled out of the race because he has dementia. So on the record, you are saying that a old man with dementia, or whatever they want to call it, outworked you. And you were even the last person in the room. So why are you running for president again?
The 2020 campaign was a spectacle, a glittering show that started with fanfare, big rallies, and promises of historic greatness. But reality hit fast, and voters collectively said, yeah, no thanks. Her presidential bid collapsed so hard it could have been mistaken for a crypto crash. She didn't even make it to the primaries. One moment she was the next big thing, and the next she was a trivia question nobody remembered. Yet somehow, instead of fading into political obscurity, she was rewarded with the vice presidency, as if failing spectacularly is the new gold standard in Washington. Fast forward to today, and we've got a VP who manages to be both invisible and embarrassing at the same time. Remember her big job, the border crisis? She was supposed to handle it, yet somehow managed to do everything except visit the actual border. It's like giving someone a lifeguard whistle and then watching them set up their chair 3 blocks away from the pool. Instead, she flew to Central America and told people, don't come, as if that would magically fix migration issues. Because, of course, that's how geopolitics works. It's comedy disguised as leadership, and somehow it's still happening.
Moving forward, she couldn't move forward from that sentence. My IQ moved backward.
Kamala Harris is the ultimate group project partner, the one who contributes nothing but insists on giving the presentation anyway. She shows up late, adds 0 value, then hogs the mic with rambling nonsense and finishes it all off with that unmistakable laugh, acting like she just delivered a masterpiece. If politics had Yelp reviews, hers would read 2 stars, showed up, didn't deliver, laughed too much, would not recommend. Her approval ratings are crawling lower than dial-up internet speeds, and every public appearance feels like a parody of itself. From her awkward cooking video to her painfully staged photo ops and those endless "we are in the moment of this moment" speeches, it's all pure cringe. She's not connecting with voters, she's unintentionally doing improv comedy. And when it comes to foreign policy, sending Kamala to meet world leaders is like sending the class clown to negotiate with the principal. It's entertaining for all the wrong reasons. Other countries must think America's playing a prank, wondering if this is really our representative. Imagine preparing for months to discuss global crises, only to sit across from someone explaining a world conflict like it's kindergarten circle time. It's chaos with a smile.
Worst things that you can say to people.
Yeah.
But I help people who harm people. God bless, good night, that's my time. That's what...
I think it's an excellent thing to acknowledge to a therapist.
Yes.
Here's the real kicker. Kamala Harris was supposed to be the future of the Democratic Party, the rising star, the trailblazer who would redefine leadership. Instead, she's become a living cautionary tale of what happens when hype smashes headfirst into reality. She's the political version of buying a shiny new gadget that breaks the moment you turn it on. All flash, no function. Yet somehow she keeps coasting, not because she's capable or trusted, but because the system refuses to let her sink. If mediocrity had a saint, Kamala would already have her own stained glass window. She's not breaking barriers. She's tripping over them and laughing like it was part of the plan. Her biggest achievement so far, making late night comedy writers completely irrelevant because her real life moments are funnier than any script. Every clip of her talking feels like an unintentional stand-up routine, a punchline without setup. Kamala Harris is proof that when politics becomes performance, what you get is style over substance. Except the style is awkward and the substance has gone missing. America didn't elect a leader. It accidentally booked an open mic night experiment and the audience can't stop watching in disbelief.
I don't think Kamala will ever hold public office again.
Better not.
I don't think you can come back from. It wasn't that she was outfoxed. It wasn't that she lost. I think you can certainly lose an election and run a good election and still.
She might think she's building her brand for the future, but what she's really doing is cementing her place in history as the vice president people will laugh about for decades. Forget Madam Vice President. The world will remember her as the queen of word salads, the woman who cackled her way into office and giggled every time accountability came knocking. Kamala Harris has become the kind of political figure who even makes her own supporters squirm. Not because she's bold or controversial, but because she's painfully awkward. It's like she's allergic to direct answers, turning even the simplest topics into confusion marathons. She could try to describe water and somehow make it sound like a riddle. Just when you think she might finally land a solid point, she interrupts herself with that nervous sitcom laugh. Her signature, her shield, her reset button. If presidential debates ever turned into stand-up nights, she wouldn't even need a microphone. She'd just step on stage, giggle for 5 minutes straight, and call it policy. That laugh isn't just a habit, it's her tell, silently screaming, "I have no idea what I just said, and neither do you." It's wild, it's ridiculous, and it's somehow become her trademark.
She never saw the video.
Yeah.
Okay? That's not someone who describes a video.
Yeah.
That's someone that they handed this to her, and she was like, elephants? Oh, I'll take it from here. And then she went out there. And she was not drunk. She was hungover, because she's way worse when she's hungover. That was hungover because she kept saying the same thing over and over again.
Her defenders love to claim she's only criticized because she's a woman of color, but that's not it at all. People aren't reacting to her identity, they're reacting to her constant political confusion. Kamala Harris has the instincts of a malfunctioning GPS, always recalculating, never arriving anywhere. The cringe doesn't come from her background, it comes from how she manages to turn every public appearance into an awkward icebreaker exercise that no one asked for. She once fought to keep people locked up for cheap labor, a move voters didn't forget, then tried to rebrand herself as a champion of justice. But her past kept popping up like old Facebook photos she wished would disappear. Her campaign didn't just fall apart, it disintegrated faster than a paper straw in a soda can. The real issue wasn't just her record, it was her inability to connect. She talks to crowds like she's addressing a group of interns forced to clap on cue. There's no authenticity, no warmth, just robotic lines that somehow still come out scrambled. It got so bad that even her own campaign staff reportedly had to Google what she stood for. Imagine that. When your team doesn't understand your message, you're not leading a movement, you're running a mystery.
They surrounded, and then they formed a circle, and then they got together. Go the away.
Somehow, all of that chaos was still enough to land her the vice presidency. Not because she earned it, not because the people demanded it, but because the Democratic Party wanted a historic pick. And yes, it was historic, just not in the way anyone hoped. Instead of becoming a symbol of strength and leadership, Kamala turned into a walking example of how empty symbolism can backfire spectacularly. On the world stage, where the vice president is supposed to represent America with dignity, she's turned the job into an unintentional comedy tour. Every clip of her abroad feels like an SNL skit gone wrong. standing beside serious leaders, nodding, smiling, then delivering a word salad that sounds like she didn't do the reading for her own presentation. You can almost hear other leaders thinking, is this really the best America has to offer? It's beyond embarrassing. Her solution to migration, just telling people not to come, felt like customer service at a discount store, not leadership. And her attempts at being relatable, painful to watch. That cooking video where she awkwardly chops vegetables, those staged photo ops that look faker than a wax museum figure. Every moment feels like a cringe compilation. She has all the charisma of an AI influencer that forgot how to blink. It's robotic, hollow, and downright uncomfortable to watch.
Powerful at the convention when you said you have guns. No, at the debate. At the debate.
I'm a gun owner. Tim Walz is a gun owner.
I did not know that.
If
And I thought
somebody
that was
breaks in
powerful.
my house, they're getting shot.
Yes, yes. I hear that. I hear that.
Probably should not have said that.
But
My staff will deal with that later.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the first time I've ever seen Oprah Winfrey stutter.
Yeah.
She was like, what she wanted to say, remember that stupid you said at the, which, was it the debate or was it the DNC that they drew me out and Stedman's pissed, he was double parked, waiting for this. Like she literally said nothing. She's like, Oprah couldn't, if Oprah can't save you, nobody can save.
Her approval ratings tell the whole story. I mean, it's not a pretty one. They're not low because she's being unfairly targeted. They're low because no one is buying what she's selling. Her numbers have practically taken up permanent residence in the basement. And when pollsters ask how people feel about her, the most common response is a shrug. Total indifference. That's the real danger. She doesn't inspire love or hate, just apathy. And apathy is political death. Her speeches have become their own genre of unintentional comedy, each one a masterclass in saying absolutely nothing with maximum enthusiasm. She circles around words like she's trying to cast a spell, and by the time she's done, no one remembers the question. This is someone who couldn't survive the 2020 primaries, can't crack 40% approval, and struggles to finish a coherent sentence without drifting into nonsense. Yet somehow she's still considered next in line. That's not meritocracy, that's pure desperation. Kamala Harris has become the political version of a participation trophy. She didn't win, she just showed up. She didn't inspire, she just smiled. She didn't lead, she just laughed. Her rise isn't about vision or ability. It's about box checking, optics, and the triumph of hype over substance.
You know what happened, Greg? The teleprompter went up and they cheered too long.
Yeah.
And she panicked because all she could remember, she couldn't remember the connection word. So she panicked. This ain't close, I'm telling you.
In a strange way, Kamala Harris has become the perfect symbol of modern politics. Not because she's exceptional, but because she represents exactly what's wrong with the system. She isn't an outlier. She's the blueprint for an era where politicians are rewarded for image over competence. Everything about her screams presentation over performance. And sadly, that's what the game has become. The image she projects isn't leader of the free world. It's more like a confused camp counselor trying to kill time before the bus shows up. Kamala set out to make history, and she did, just not the kind she imagined. Instead of being remembered as a trailblazer, she's become the punchline, the living case study of how not to lead, how not to connect, and how not to inspire. She wanted to be the moment, but instead, she became the meme. History won't crown her a hero, it'll use her as an example. A flashing neon warning sign of what happens when style replaces substance. And that, ironically, might be her most lasting legacy.